The Electronic Entertainment Expo is a time of joy and gaming news, with the biggest names coming out to play and hyping up the remaining year for us all. It's also the site of much humor, both intentional and unintentional, and where every developer and publisher is its own worst enemy at times. Let's take a look at some of the biggest blunders and embarrassments in E3 history.
From Neversoft, which, wasn't that the first name for Viagra?
Ubisoft's battle tag mess, E3 2010. How extreme is too extreme? In Ubisoft's mind, at least in 2010, the edge was battle tag and getting both developers and hired models to run around the auditorium engaged in laser tag. You'd think that we're joking. Heck, we would hope we're joking. But sadly, this was a thing that actually happened. PELE and EA's FIFA, E3 2015. PELE is a football legend, plain and simple, so we can't quite understand what his appearance at EA's E3 2015 presser was all about. He was there to hype up FIFA 16 and managed to talk about football. Whether it was due to confusion or something else, PELE kept hammering the same point again and again and again. Captain Brain's cosplay gone wrong, E3 2015. Someone thought it would be a good idea following the reveal of Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 to have a man in a Captain Brain's costume pose like Hulk Hogan to the tune of Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone. Someone was paid to come up with this idea. Unacceptable. Simply unacceptable. Xbox One Always Online and Don MATTRICK'S Shenanigans E3 2013. If it seemed like Microsoft couldn't dig a deeper hole for itself following the global reveal of the Xbox One, then its E3 2013 showing certainly proved us wrong. From plans to outlaw used games to always online functionality and an always online Kinect, it took former Interactive Entertainment business president Don MATTRICK'S comments to make things that much worse.
360, right. So stick with 360, that's your message if you don't, like it?
If you have zero access to the internet, that is an offline device.
Microsoft's Kinect presentation, E3 2011. E3 2011 was the year that Microsoft would introduce Kinect, graduating from the Natal title and finally showcasing games for the motion camera. It went about as well as Star Wars Kinect and shrill children screaming on stage could. That is to say, not very well at all. Sony's E3 2006 presser. Fancy a $600 PlayStation 3 console at launch? How about the birth of the giant enemy crab meme? For Sony, one of its lowest points in history would be its entire E3 2006 presser. It was very hard to choose just one terrible moment from the entire ordeal. Aaron Priceman, aka Mr. Caffeine, E3 2011. What is it with terrible hosts and E3? Aaron Priceman, aka Mr. Caffeine, would bring Ubisoft's 2011 presser to its knees with his awful jokes and the infamous doodly doodly doop sound effect made to mimic the sound of a time machine. Don't ask about the genital jokes either, you really don't want to know.
We at Ubisoft know something about rabbits, don't we? It's not the regular kind of rabbits. I'm talking about the loud, obnoxious, slightly deranged, poop on your toothpaste kind.
Jamie Kennedy, E3 2007, aka the host so bad that he actually made us feel sorry for Activision of all companies. During the publisher's E3 2007 conference, Kennedy would utter terrible jokes, likening Neversoft to the initial name for Viagra and mocking gamers. Unsurprisingly, he wouldn't ever return to E3 afterwards. AISHA Tyler, bad jokes, and memeing, E3 2014 and 2015. Though most of the really terrible hosts are lost in memory for E3, AISHA Tyler still carries on the legacy for Ubisoft at its pressers. E3 2004 saw her debut many terrible one-liners and jokes, a trend which took a horrible turn in 2015 when she wanted an Assassin's Creed Syndicate cosplayer to become a meme. Nintendo 2008 presser. Imagine a Nintendo conference without any major hardcore titles announced at all. No Mario, no Metroid, no Zelda. Now throw in Wii music, including a crazed man attempting a drum routine with a Wiimote nunchuck, throw in Wii Sports Resort for extra good measure, and was this Nintendo's worst E3 presser of all time? Mortal Kombat vs. Killer Instinct in Dance Off, E3 1995. We're having a hard time deciding whether this was awful or awesome. Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct resolved their differences once and for all with a dance-off for the ages. Maybe it was a choreographed fight sequence of sorts? Regardless, this was Step Up before Step Up was actually cool, and if sleep-deprived enough, we could dig it. KUDO TSUNODA and the KINECT fail, E3 2009. When Microsoft was still calling it Natal, it had KUDO TSUNODA showcase the camera tracking a dancing version of his avatar in real time. Then came the moment he showcased the bottom of the avatar's shoe, prefacing it with "Wabam, there it is," as the avatar's limbs began to contort out of control. Who said Japan was where the real horror films came from? KONAMI'S E3 2010 conference. That being said, nothing, and we mean nothing, tops KONAMI'S E3 2010 conference where it hired masked luchadores to chop each other, 99 Nights to producer Takafuji waxing incoherently about 1 million troops, and just generally frightening men standing behind others, and you thought PT was the most disturbing thing the company ever put out. What are your most memorable E3 blunders and embarrassments in history? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.